I honestly get kind of over everyone being like, it's the fucking best game ever made. I'm like, it's okay. It's decent. It's not a bad game, but like, I bet people just really like certain things. So, oh yeah, no, great did wonders for the series, but it unfortunately divided fans ever since. Yeah, because it was the first 3D one. That's the main reason. But yeah, unfortunately, 7 is the cause of much fan division because every single one that came after it wasn't 7. And then 7 has been re-released to shit. Like, there's shows, there's an anime, there's a phone game that literally got, I think you can't play it anymore because it was like on like flip phones back when I think we were in high school. There's Crisis Core, and there was the movie, then there was like Dirge of Cerberus and all that, and it's just like constantly, like just, you know, like 7 has been done to death, and then they've done the 2 of the 3 remakes, and that itself has also divided fans because there's like plot ghosts and shit, and there's timelines, and it's just goofy, dumb. Like, some of it's fun, but then it's not. I don't. Is edgy the right word? Yeah. If you play the original 7, it was dark. It was, I guess, brooding would be a word to use. It you know, it had a lot of, I'd say, mature themes, but it also had fun. Like, again, everyone likes to joke about like the CPR scene and the snowboarding and all that, and like it had all these mini games, but like when it came down to the story, it was like, oh shit. Now, in the remake, it's like, hey, let's all do goofy, you know, Japanese anime animations, and it just didn't vibe with everyone because it's like, who moves like that, you know? I guess Yuffie would be the biggest example of that. Yeah, she's like a teenager and she's hyperactive, but like no teenager I know of acts like that. And if they do act like that, they're being cringe on TikTok. Yeah. So the gameplay's good. That's like a positive. But at the same time, you get to, like, from what I've noticed with the second remake, was Rebirth. I haven't even finished it yet. I got over it. The fights are either too easy or anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. That's basically the difficult. There's no in between. Not once have I ever had a good fight. It was either, oh fuck, I need to heal, I'm going to die, or when are the fights going to get difficult? It's like, but there was, I think there was like 1 or 2 we actually had to exploit certain things where it's like, oh, if I do this, then the, you know, monster becomes vulnerable, and those fights were good. But I don't remember what monsters those fights were, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'm going on a Final Fantasy ramble. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Like, something about the 7 community that is batshit insane. If you can find the right location, like probably like a video with a lot of views and whatnot, just say Tifa or Aerith and just stand back. It's like, people got fucking violent over that shit. Like, I've only heard stories, but in Rebirth there is a date section in I actually haven't gotten up to that bit yet, and you can get either you can basically get anyone, right? You can get like Tifa or Aerith. They're the main 2, but if you try really hard, you can get like Barret and Red, and it's really funny. People having opinions on their fan fictions. It man, like, Square Enix got death threats over Tifa's breasts. Yes, no, larger. Because in the original, Tifa had huge tits. Like, I'm talking like big honga galonga gazongas. She had huge tits. And she only wore like a white tank top. But in the remake, she wears more. But here's the thing, she still has huge tits. Like, it's not, you know, but people like complaining. I just want the gameplay to be like, and that's another thing with Final Fantasy is like, so I originally thought this was for 16, or sorry, 13. Final Fantasy 13 was the first Final Fantasy where I thought this was the RPG that I've been looking for. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And then we finally got 15, and I thought that one was going to be, because like I always wanted a real-time Final Fantasy, because like, you know, action games and shit. And 15 was kind of it was like good, but it wasn't sort of thing. Like, and then 16 came out, And 16 was like Devil May Cry but Final Fantasy, and it was like, fuck yeah. But my god, it was easy. It just wasn't like you had all these moves, all of them would combo, which is great, but you could only equip so many of them, and none of the fights, at least from my experience, because I couldn't be fucked during New Game Plus, everything died to ignition, which is one of the first fire moves you get in the game, where you basically just dash and you pick up all the infantry and they all just die. Or they become low enough health where you can just whack them. And that was pretty much like every fight, and it was rough. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't think Square Enix understands how to balance real-time Final Fantasies. And they also need better writers, man. They need, like, 16 started so goddamn good. And then by the end of the game, I just didn't give a shit anymore. Like, I hated Ultima as a villain. He was so... I felt like Ultima used fancy words to make him seem smarter than what he actually was. He's like, I'm going to say all these words and expect a player to know what these words are. Like, I don't read a fucking dictionary, right? I know hubris because of, like, Star Wars, I think it's from. He's like, you're hubris. And it's like, that means pride, you know? Like, I don't... I just want to enjoy games, man. I just want games that are fun. Games that are polished. If they have a good story, great. If they have, like, good graphics, great. I just want them to work and be fun. That's the point of games, is to play a game and go, I'm having fun. But no. We need to brag about Last of Us 2 having a jumper button. What was the first game they published that made everyone know their company's name? Crash fucking Bandicoot? What's Crash known for? Jumping and spinning. It's fucking good. Anyway.